The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. The earth, the air, the fire, the water, return, 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 return. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho. Aye, 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 aho, 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 aho.
Welcome to the beloved community at River of Grass Unitarian Universalist Congregation, both here in person and love streamed on Zoom and Facebook Live. We celebrate all the ways we find to gather a beloved community in body and in spirit as we go and grow and flow the riverway. I'm Andy Perez. My pronouns are she and her. You here in this room, we welcome you. You on Zoom or Facebook Live, we welcome you too. However you made your way among us this morning, we welcome you. Let us pause together to enter into this time together as we connect again with one another, with the holy by any name and the light of love within us all. While we remain mindful that not everyone can breathe easy, nor find it easy to breathe, let us pause here in the headlong rush of our lives to breathe into our time together. Take a breath, or three. In this congregation, it is our mission to nurture our spirits, love intentionally, and create a just and healthy planet. In our enduring search for truth, meaning, and faith, what we share here is not an unchanging dogma, but an affirmation that we are called to be agents of love and justice, and to build a world where everyone is cherished for who they are. This morning's service is about Samhain. One of the ancient Celtic traditions is on the first night of Samhain. They would dress up as monsters of Samhain, such as the puka, a shape-shifting creature that receives harvest offerings, and the Lady Gwyn, a headless woman who chases those who travel at night while accompanied by a black pig. In our current celebrations, kind to merge Samhain into All Saints' Day. All Saints' Day and Halloween.
Our call to worship this morning will be a calling of the four quarters and the triple goddess and the horned god in the Wicca tradition. Please rise and body your spirit as we call the directions and face that direction with us. The triple goddess and the horned god are in the center after we're done with the quarters.
Powers of air, spirits of the wind, yellow butterflies floating lightly, poetry of the breath of the wind. You are welcome. Come in. I guess that was Easter. That was Easter.
And we move to the south, facing the south. Powers of fire, spirits of the flame, creatures of the hearth, transforming fire, come from the south. We call you. Be here.
West, we go that way. Powers of water, spirit of the waves, living currents, salt and fresh, swim in these waters. Welcome, our friends. Come in.
And to the north, powers of the earth, spirits of the ground, black soil, secrets of the earth. You know the way of trees and grass. We ask you, sit with us here. And in the center, triple goddess, maiden, mother, and crone, you who are all and ever, we hail you. As winter begins, we are warmed by the flames beneath your cauldron. Your magic stirs us in your veins, in our veins. We are cleansed as your tears of grief become tears of joy. We are stronger for the transformation that is your blessing in that season. Triple goddess, in whom we are and ever will be. We invite you, hail and welcome. We didn't rehearse this. Horned one, you who die and are reborn, I hail you. As winter begins, we are warmed by your courage. Your faith stirs in our veins. We are cleansed as your blood becomes bounty. I am stronger for the transformation that is your blessing at this season. Horned one, you show us how to die and to be reborn. We invite you, hail and welcome. Come, let us worship together.
The flaming chalice is a symbol of our Unitarian Universalist tradition, a beacon of religious liberty shining through generations, now ours to hold high. As we light our chalice together this morning, let us join our voices with these words. We gather this hour as people of faith, with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, a sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of life we share together. In the light of love, let us renew our covenant as we say together. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is its law. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to seek the truth in love, and to help everyone. El amor es y el servicio su le principal Esta es nuestra gran promesa, vivir junta en paz, buscar la verdad a amor y please remain seated as you join in singing Lady of the Season's Laughter.
Lady of the season's laughter, in the summer's warmth be near. When the winter follows after, teach our spirits not to fear. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning year. Sister of the evening starlight, in the falling shadows stay, here among us till the far light of tomorrow's dawning ray. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning day. Mother of the generations, in whose love all life is worth, everlasting celebrations bring our labor safe to birth. Hold us in your steady mercy, Lady of the turning earth.
So I don't have it queued up. In our community each week, we share pieces of our lives. We take a moment to share our joys, our sorrows, and gratitudes here with the people who love us for exactly who we are, where we are, right now. Here in this room, we'll share from the book. If you're in Zoom and would like to share a thought, a prayer, or a joy or concern, hopefully with us, in this moment, write it in the chat and we'll lift them up together. And now, in the quiet of this hour, if there is something on your heart that you wish to mark without words this morning, you're invited to come forward, drop a stone of reflection into the water as we hold one another in sacred community. For as William James wrote, we are like islands in the sea, separate on the surface, but connected in the deep.
Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother, I feel your laughter. Ancient Mother, I taste your tears. Ancient Mother, I hear you calling. Ancient Mother, I hear your song. Ancient Mother,
become seers of the heart, that we may serve one another and those beyond our walls with love and thankfulness today and every day. Amen, Amin, Aho, Ashe, Namaste, blessed be, and so it is.
We sustain and strengthen this beloved community and its work in our world through the gifts of our time, our skills, our love, and our money. Each Sunday, half of our undesignated offerings go to LifeNet for Families, which provides meals, clothing, and support for those in need here in Broward County. The other half supports our mission and ministry at River of Grass. Ushers, please come forward to receive the offering. Scan the QR code or text the number on the screen to donate. You can also find several ways to give on the donate page on our website at riverofgrassuu.org.
We are on a journey. We're traveling to wholeness. We're building on the pathways of those who came before us. We are called to justice, freedom, equality, truth, compassion, and always love.
Where routes were misdirected and paths were not completed, new roads must be erected, old obstacles defeated.
We are called to justice, freedom, equality, truth, compassion, and always love. We're widening our highway on our journey to completeness. Our tunnels cut through hatred, our bridges span between us. We are called to justice, freedom, equality, truth, compassion, and always love. Together we love stronger. Together we love sooner. Together we love longer. Together we love truer. We are called to justice, freedom, equality, truth, compassion, and always love. Always love.
First of all, I want to thank you all for your patience this morning as we fumble through the start of our worship service. And we have two beautiful babies with us today who are getting to know that you are safe people and this is a safe place, and that takes time. All right, today's story. So in our service this morning, we're talking about Samhain, which is an ancient Celtic festival that comes at this time of year, and we can learn some things from this, from these ancient traditions. This is the time of year when everything starts to die, if you live where it's colder, right? For us, it's a little different, right? But where these traditions began, that was the case. This was the time of year when we start looking towards winter, but this is the beginning. And if you were up north, or even just well, just a little ways up north, you might start seeing changes in the leaves. And that's because this is the time of year that the leaves, that many trees start to have dying leaves. So this story is called the Fall of Freddie the Leaf. All right, spring had passed. So had summer. Freddie the Leaf had grown large. His midsection was wide and strong, and his 5 extensions were firm and pointed. He had first appeared in spring as a small sprout on a rather large branch near the top of a tall tree. Freddie was surrounded by hundreds of other leaves, just like himself, or so it seemed. Soon he discovered that no 2 leaves were actually alike, even though they were on the same tree. Alfred was the leaf next to him. Ben was the leaf on his right side, and Claire was the lovely leaf overhead. They had all grown up together. They had learned to dance in the spring breezes, bask lazily in the summer sun, and wash off in the cooling rains. But it was Daniel who was Freddie's best friend. He was the largest leaf on the limb and seemed to have been there before anyone else. It appeared to Freddie that Daniel was also the wisest among them. It was Daniel who told them that they were part of a tree. It was Daniel who explained that they were growing in a public park. It was Daniel who told him that the tree had strong roots which were hidden in the ground below. He explained about the birds who came to sit on their branch and sing morning songs. He explained about the sun, the moon, the stars, and the seasons. Freddie loved being a leaf. He loved his branch, his light leafy friends, his place high in the sky, the wind that jostled him about, the sun rays that warmed him, the moon that covered him with soft white shadows. Summer had been especially nice. The long, hot days felt good, and the warm nights were peaceful and dreamy. There were many people in the park that summer. They often came and sat under Freddie's tree. Daniel told him that giving shade was part of his purpose. "What's a purpose?" Freddie had asked. "A reason for being," Daniel had answered. "To make things more pleasant for others is a reason for being. To make shade for old people who come to escape the heat of their homes is a reason for being. To provide a cool place for children to come and play, to fan with our leaves the picnickers who come to eat on checkered tablecloths. These are all reasons for being." Freddie especially liked the old people. They sat quietly on the cool grass and hardly ever moved. They talked in whispers of times past. The children were fun too, even though they sometimes tore holes in the bark of the tree or carved their names into it. Still, it was fun to watch them move so fast and to laugh so much. But Freddie's summer soon passed. It vanished on an October night. He had never felt it so cold. All the leaves shivered with the cold. They were coated with a thin layer of white, which quickly melted and left them dew-drenched and sparkling in the morning sun. Again, it was Daniel who explained that they had experienced their first frost, the sign that it was fall and that winter would come soon. Almost at once, the whole tree, in fact, the whole park was transformed into a blaze of color. There was hardly a green leaf left. Alfred had turned a deep yellow, Ben had become a bright orange, Claire had become a blazing red, Daniel a deep purple, and Freddie was red and gold and blue. How beautiful they all looked. Freddie and his friends had made their tree a rainbow. "Why did we turn different colors?" Freddie asked, "when we are all on the same tree? Each of us is different. We have had different experiences. We have faced the sun differently. We have cast shade differently. Why should we not have different colors?" Daniel said matter-of-factly. Daniel told Freddie that this wonderful season was called fall. One day a very strange thing happened. The same breezes that in the past had made them dance began to push and pull at their stems, almost as if they were angry. This caused some of the leaves to be torn from their branches and swept up in the wind, tossed about, and dropped softly to the ground. All the leaves became frightened. "What's happening?" they asked each other in whispers. "It's what happens in fall," Daniel told them. "It's the time for leaves to change their home. Some people call it to die." "Will we all die?" Freddie asked. Yes, Daniel answered, everything dies. No matter how big or small, how weak or strong, we first do our job. We experience the sun and the moon, the wind and the rain. We learn to dance and to laugh. Then we die. I won't die, said Freddie with determination. Will you, Daniel? Yes, answered Daniel, when it's my time. When is that? Asked Freddie. No one knows for sure, Daniel responded. Freddie noticed that the other leaves continued to fall. He thought it must be their time. He saw that some of the leaves lashed back at the wind before they fell, others simply let go and dropped quietly. Soon the tree was almost bare. I'm afraid to die, Freddie told Daniel. I don't know what's down there. We all fear what we don't know, Freddie. It's natural, Daniel reassured him. Yet you were not afraid when spring became summer. You were not afraid when summer became fall. They were natural changes. Why should you be afraid of the season of death? Does the tree die too? Freddie asked. Someday. But there is something stronger than the tree. It is life that lasts forever. We are all a part of life. Where will we go when we die? No one knows for sure. That's the great mystery. Will we return in the spring? We may not, but life will. Then what has been the reason for all of this? Freddie continued to question. Why are we here at all if we only have to fall and die? Daniel answered in his matter-of-fact way. It's been about the sun and the moon. It's been about happy times together. It's been about the shade and the old people and the children. It's been about colors in fall. It's been about seasons. Isn't that enough? That afternoon in the golden light of dusk, Daniel let go. He fell effortlessly. He seemed to smile peacefully as he fell. Goodbye for now, Freddie, he said. Then Freddie was alone, the only leaf left on his branch. Let me see a picture of him. The first snow fell the following morning. It was soft, white, and gentle, but it was bitter cold. There was hardly any sun that day, and the day was very short. Freddie found himself losing his color, becoming brittle. It was constantly cold, and the snow weighed heavily upon him. At dawn, the wind came that took Freddie from his branch. It didn't hurt at all. He felt himself float quietly, gently, and softly downward. As he fell, he saw the whole tree for the first time, how strong and firm it was. He was sure that it would live for a long time, and he knew that he had been a part of its life, and it made him proud. Freddie landed on a clump of snow. It somehow felt soft and even warm. In this new position, he was more comfortable than he had ever been. He closed his eyes and fell asleep. He did not know that spring would follow winter and that the snow would melt into water. He did not know that what appeared to be his useless dried self would join with the water and serve to make the tree stronger. Most of all, he did not know that there, asleep in the tree and the ground, were already plans for new leaves in the spring. So not the end, but maybe a beginning. And this is the time of year that we talk about endings, but we also have a chance to have fun with it, because over time, that ancient festival of Samhain became Halloween. And we'll talk more about how that happened downstairs.
Let's sing our children out. Help you and bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day. Bless you and send you on your way. We love you and bless you today and every day.
I know that we are all tempted to say Samhain. The Gaelic pronunciation is Samhain. The Druid is Samhain. And here in the U.S., we say pumpkin spice, please. The name Samhain comes from an old Irish word meaning summer's end, and it marks the beginning of winter. Samhain is a pagan religious festival originating from an ancient Celtic spiritual tradition. It is celebrated from October 31st to November 1st to commemorate the final harvest and usher in the dark half of the year. Celebrants believe that the barriers between the physical world and the spirit world break down during Samhain, allowing more interaction between humans and denizens of the outer world. As Christianity gained a foothold in pagan communities, church leaders attempted to reframe Samhain as a Christian celebration, as they did with many of the ancient celebrations. The first attempt was by Pope Boniface in the 5th century. He moved the celebration to May 13th and specified it as a day celebrating saints and martyrs. The fire festivals of October and November, however, did not end with this decree. In the 9th century, Pope Gregory moved the celebration back to the time of fire festivals, but he declared it All Saints' Day on November 1st. All Souls' Day would follow on November 2nd. Neither new holiday did away with the pagan aspects of the Samhain celebration. Wiccans look at Samhain as the beginning of the Wicca calendar, death and rebirth through the darkest days of the year. In the Jewish tradition, Samhain celebrates the dead with a festival on October 31st, and usually features a bonfire and communion with the dead. American pagans often hold music and dance celebrations called witches' balls in proximity to Samhain. Many of you may remember the annual witches' ball held at the Fort Lauderdale Church. They don't do that anymore? Oh, wow, okay. That was like one of my husband's favorite holidays. When Samhain arrives, we say goodbye to warm summer days and hello to a summer of longer nights and a cooler season. As the sun's rays weaken, nature herself seems to whisper ancient secrets, inviting us to celebrate mystery, shadows, and darkness. Samhain is also a time to celebrate life in contrast to death, which makes it a great moment to stop and introspect. Reflect on you and your life over the past year. Review journals, planners, photographs, blogs, and other notations you have created during the past year. Consider how you have grown, accomplishments, challenges, adventures, travels, and learnings. Meditate. You may want to journal about your year in review and your reflections. We offer a guided meditation today to help your reflections.
So relax. Sit comfortably in your chair, feet on the floor, hands resting in your lap. And take a few deep breaths. Slowly let go of your worries and stress, your to-do list, work stress, relationship problems. Let them all go for now. As we journey on this meditation, they may pop up again. Just acknowledge them and set them aside once more. You can always deal with them later. And as you sit there, envision a veil of silence wrapping over you. Silence and warmth. Silence in this sacred place. Breathe deeply and slowly and relax. Now envision you in a forest, a primeval forest, and you're being transported through the forest. You see the leaves, the birds, the creatures. You feel the ground under your feet. Enjoy the sense. And now ahead of you, you see a meadow. You step into the meadow. Grass and flowers mark the way. On the other side, you see an old structure. You're transported to it. It's very old and sacred. The stone structure is covered with vines. There is a wooden door. You open it. You walk into this space. You feel safe. There are candles burning and a sweet sense of incense. In front of you, toward the back of the room, is an altar. And on this altar is a statue. You realize this is a statue of Goddess, the female god. You may call her Mary, White Buffalo Woman, Isis, Kuan Yin, Saradwin, Rhiannon. So you sit in front of her, and as you gaze into her face, a radiance emanates from her and surrounds you with love. You feel deeply you are loved for who you are. And as you sit comfortably in her love, you think back over this past year, the joys experienced, and the sorrows. Recognize that feeling and let it go. Hold in your heart those who died this past year and in recent years. Acknowledge your sadness and know that you hold their love in your heart. And also now, reflect on the joys of the past year. Family, friends, babies, celebrations. Now turn your mind towards the year to come. There is joy and wonderful experiences waiting for you. Think of what you might accomplish this year. Enjoy the excitement of new endeavors. Now's the time to return to this space. You rise, you thank the goddess for her love and support, and gently close the door as you leave. You walk through the meadow and into the woods, and as you walk, you slowly return to this space. And when you're ready, open your eyes. You may want to take a moment when you get home to journal about what you experienced during this meditation. And also know you can recreate it in your own mind in a quiet time. And maybe take it a little bit slower. He's still meditating. It's not working either. So much for our closing music.
At River of Grass, we offer many ways to live our Unitarian Universalist faith in action. You'll find them in our weekly email, our Facebook page, and website, riverofgrassuu.org. Here are some upcoming opportunities to fulfill the mission and vision of this congregation, and other announcements for the life of the beloved community. In our small group for kids this morning, we're discovering how our time-honored traditions of carving pumpkins, trick-or-treating, and wearing scary costumes evolved from the rituals around the ancient Celtic holiday of Samhain. The Sunshine Cluster annual meeting and program will be held on this Saturday, November 4th, 2023 at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Growing congregations in the digital world, Peter Bowden will share simple strategies for growing congregations in a complex digital world. His keynote will explore how the internet has changed human behavior and why this calls on us to change how we approach outreach, hospitality, and membership development. Peter Bowden is a national expert on Unitarian Universalist growth, outreach, and media. He has trained thousands of congregational leaders across the United States and internationally through his online training programs. Free for registration and a Zoom link, send an email to sunshinecluster@gmail.com. As we open our service with the casting of the circle, we do?
Surprise. I just wanted to let everyone know that we're once again meeting in person on Sunday mornings at 8:30 in the morning for mindfulness meditation. And we continue to be available via Zoom, and all that information is on riverofgrassuu.org website. So hope to see you there. If you liked your experience with Kathy's guided meditation, we can take that further if you'd like to join us. So thanks.
Now we're going to do the casting of the circle. We will end with the closing of the circle. For your blessing. Hail and farewell.
Powers of fire, we thank you for your presence and ask for your blessing. Hail and farewell.
Power of water, we thank you for your presence and ask for your blessing. Hail and farewell.
And powers of earth, we thank you for your presence and ask for your blessing. Hail and farewell. Triple Goddess and Horned One, thank you for your presence and ask for your blessing. All hail and farewell.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. In these changing times, let us all be the more vigilant to hold before us a vision of the world transformed and dare to transform ourselves to make it so. Until we meet again, shine on.
Let's do that. Excuse me. Nobody told us to make an announcement on it. Next Sunday, at what time? The one? At the Perez's house, not this Perez, we have two Perez's. The Perez's house, next Sunday, November 5th. It's a potluck, bring something to eat, and enjoy the community together. Information's on the email, and we'll get it on the website too. And sign-up sheets in the back. Please join us for coffee in the back.